Hey y'all, so this is going to be a soulmate reading. I guess want to specify some things first. I think that people have multiple soulmates, so this is just one of many possible people who could be coming into your life and making a real romantic, substantial connection with. I guess I just want to articulate that in the beginning so that the expectations are for someone who you know is going to further your love life and hopefully stay for a while, someone who is a compliment to you. Compliment doesn't always mean perfection, I guess is the point. So this will be pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, pile number 4, pile number 5, pile number 6, and that's what we've got. So 6 different piles again: pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, pile number 4, pile number 5, and pile number 6. I would take your time to choose whichever feels right for you. This is a general reading, so the energies are going to be general, but hopefully it's also going to be lovely. I hope to be able to get some personality traits, well, for sure for personality traits, but also maybe appearance in general, facial features and general features in general. So I hope you guys have a good video, and I hope that this video is helpful in some way. Hello, pile number 1. These are your cards. I actually don't know where to start when I'm describing your soulmate. I kind of like to look at the cards a little bit before I go. I guess we'll start with the Bosch Tarot. So Ascent of the Blessed and Kings of the East. So Ascent of the Blessed, if you can't tell, these angels, I believe they're supposed to be angels, are helping these people into heaven or like divinity. They're taking them from purgatory into divinity. And then the Kings of the East represent the kings who traditionally went to Jesus in the Bible, the Magi, who came bearing gifts. So there's this idea of someone who perhaps has gone through a rebirth, and he's going into a rebirth into someone who is leaving behind these energies of the vampire in reverse, codependency, and needing to like suck the energy out of others because they're not able to produce it themselves, and an addiction to self-pity, and they're becoming more someone who's in control of their life, because that's ultimately what they want. They want to govern things. They want to be in charge. Control is a big aspect of something that they're into, and how they've gotten to this point of being someone who's in a space that is, I guess, it's more probable that they'll get what they want. They've had to do a lot of introspection. And again, we have this energy of being a martyr. The Hangman in reverse talks about throwing oneself into martyrdom. They always feel like at any provocation, they need to get a lawyer. Like lawsuit happy people is kind of the energy I'm getting. And I think this is something that they're going to have to grow out of, because they are intelligent people. They have this Aquarius and Mercury right here. So that indicates to me that they're capable of coming up with new ideas, and they're capable of being free flowing. It's just that I think they sometimes get bogged down in the minutia, and they aren't really able to pull themselves out of the negative emotional, I guess, bearing that they may have on occasions. And I mean, it's not that they're a bad person. They've perhaps saved someone from an abusive relationship, or they like to fancy themselves as someone who would do that sort of thing. And they like to dance. They're a dancer. They're really into body movements. They don't have to be a professional dancer. In fact, more than likely, this person is going to rise to a position of authority. That doesn't have to mean the president or the prime minister or the Raj or whatever, Sultan. There are many different ways to achieve authority in the world rather than simply being the chief authority, I guess. So this could mean that he's a boss at like McDonald's or something. I don't know what you're called, if you're general manager perhaps. But that's my point. Like, there are many different options for who this person could be. And as it pertains to their, I guess, choice of governance, their choice of authority, especially because they seem to be a little, you know, unstable. They need a lot from a partner emotionally to be able to feel like they're able to become successful. They need these gifts from the East. And I think you're going to do that. My hope is that you won't be propped up into, you know, being an emotional, I guess, plug bag for this person, since they're an emotional vampire. I just think that, and again, this is just one of your soulmates. I think that if they are able to get out of their negative bearing and their need for constant affirmation, because I'm definitely getting that. They feel like they need constant affirmations. I think if they're able to get out of that energy, then you'll be fine. So let's go on to like general physical features. I'm definitely getting someone who's fair, just from like what we're seeing. Someone who's fair, and definitely someone who has a hair color that's not common to your area. I think they're probably taller. Taller than you for sure. Maybe 6 foot to like 6'2". And then like maybe 5'11", 5'10", and like 7 foot, I guess, is an option. I don't think it's too probable, but I'm sure one of you out there. And then, what else? I definitely see them as someone who wants to come off more macho, whether they truly can, give that energy. They like to feel like they're in control. They like to express masculinity, and I'm getting that that's pretty heavy in how they dress as well. They may have a wider nose, just prominent nose in general. Yeah, I think that's what I'm getting for appearance wise. And again, this could be for a boy or a girl. So or whoever you're interested in, this isn't set gender. This could be girl, guy, person who's neither, both, whatever. It's just someone who exhibits a more masculine energy in their presence, I would definitely say, and definitely exhibits a more masculine energy in how they dress. So yeah, that's what I'm getting. Hi, pile number 2. I think I messed up the numbers because I just had to go back and do this pile, but it's fine. I'm tired. So this is again a soulmate reading. Sorry, not meeting. This is a soulmate reading, so not like a twin flame reading, not a perfect person for me reading, just a soulmate reading. So we have someone who's a student, humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning. But then we also have advocate in reverse, which is someone who may join negative causes or join causes for personal gain. And we have that with the proletariat, which again is someone who's very revolutionary. And I mean, this person is by no means lazy. The sin of sloth is in reverse, and the king of birds talks about someone who's very active and someone who's very, very energetic. And then compounding that, we have the magician. And I think a lot of this came from the fact that they may have survived a natural disaster of some sort. Maybe a tornado has affected them in some way. And they've kind of become a Robin Hood, right? It's not Red Robin Hood, it's just Robin Hood. I think I'm like trying to combine that fairy tale, the wolf and Red Riding Hood and Robin Hood. Riding Hood or Robin Hood, like they're similar enough. Anyway, so it's like pirate. Sorry, it's something in my throat. I still think I have something in my throat. I think I need water. Oh my goodness, I don't have water. It's fine, I'll do it. Power through. So they're very interested in being this person who has like made their mark on the world. Innovation here even talks about, so we have, I think that's Saturn. No, that's Jupiter and Aquarius. So again, this is talking about someone who wants to change the world. They want to be out there and they want to do it. But I think part of the reason is because it makes them feel better about themselves. And I mean, I don't know if that's a bad thing. I think lots of times we do things that makes us feel better about ourselves when we're helping others. Altruism is like supposed to make you feel good. I mean, in a healthy society, that's how that works. That's how animals are able to function. I don't think animals function on a like moral, I don't know, if they ponder moral quandaries and their downtime, you know what I mean? But cats have been known to help other cats or help other baby animals. It's altruism is just something that's baked in to species a lot of the times to make them functional when they're social. So this person is going to have a lot of great ideas. They're going to be very manifestive as a person. They're going to be quite capable, a revolutionary in the making or a wannabe one. But it's interesting because we have dodging a bullet And we have the Six of Swords in reverse. So it's like once they once they hatch themselves to, I guess, a certain train of idea, they may not be able to get out of it or extricate themselves very easily. Because again, it's not always so much about how much they can help others, rather how they're going to be seen in the past. So they feel that they have to like double down on these ideals, because if they do end up being wrong, then crap, all this work I put in thinking I was helping other people, so people to remember me for helping other people is going to be, oh wow, this person was dumb, and they put themselves in a situation where they thought they were being good, but in reality they weren't. And that's not what they're like going for. They want to be the proletariat. They want to be the person who went through all of this stuff and was able to help everyone around them. They want to be seen as someone who is in their nature giving, like Buddha or Jesus energy, Vishnu energy, giving stuff. I think Vishnu would be giving energy. I feel like I could be corrected on that. I could definitely be wrong. I shouldn't have said that. But yeah, so this is where we're at with them. And I think this is good. They're medium to tall height, so take that as you will for your region. They're either going to have really short hair or really long hair. Darker skin tones for your region. Yours to darker, I should say. They may like to show off skin. That may be something that they're into. And they're just going to be a very generative force. A force to be reckoned with. A force of nature, you know what I mean? Maybe they're a tornado that hits something. And this could be very small stuff. It could be very big stuff. They could find moments of fighting against the system, and like a normal job. But there definitely be someone who wants people to know that they're helpful. They want people to know that they're learned. They want people to know that they're so dang cultured. And they want to be able to help people while they're doing it, which I don't think is the worst thing in the world. So that's your soulmate, pile number 2. Hi, pile number 2. So this is going to be your guys' reading, and here are your guys' cards. So to start off, we have somebody who surrenders your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. So this is probably someone who is conservative. We'll get more on that later. And then we also have someone who is warrior, strength, skill, and discipline, toughness of will, heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice, and conquering the ego. And under that, of course, we have law enforcement. So this is definitely someone who is in some way attached to the enforcement of law. That could be someone as low as a parket meter person, and it could be as high as someone in the FBI or CIA, It could even be enforcement in corporate law, just making sure that people are following the regulations that are required. And they have a sort of interesting dichotomy here. So we have someone who's the King of Pentacles, someone who moves slowly, someone who's gotten to where they are after hard work, someone who abides by the saying life begins at 40. And we have that crossed with the Three of Cups. So I think this is someone who definitely at first comes off as someone who's very thoughtful, because they move very thoughtfully, but that's not so much natural to them. They want to achieve in their life. They want authority. They want to be in charge. And not so much like pile 2. Pile 2 was more wishy-washy. These people have the ability to achieve what they're wanting. They are capable of getting there. And they're going to be surprises with this person. You can read it if you want it. I'm not going to say it, but like that card represents very startling information, maybe information that you didn't even want. And it could be, again, that even though they're able to handle their life on a veneer surface, if they're able to make it look like everything is fine and dandy, they have issues with gambling. Weirdly enough, I'm not actually seeing this affecting them so much. Financially, at least. I think emotionally they're a bit messy, just drained, kind of thoughtless, that sort of thing. But they're able to keep it together. Even though they may have these vices, they're not letting them affect their bag, if you get what I'm saying. And in fact, they may even be a mentor, someone in the community that people look up to, or that could be an aim for them. So even though they may have these internal problems, it's very what happens behind closed doors sort of energy, because they still have this table of plenty. They still have everything that they could want. They're still in this King of Pentacles energy, so they're going to have money. It's just going to be, there's going to be like a darker side to them, a side that you wouldn't expect. They're like to party, maybe drugs, something like that. Not at all condoning. But I'm just saying that these are the kind of vibes that I'm getting. It's nothing as serious as I would say as like anger problem or something like that. I think it's just like they have these weird quirks that could affect them negatively, and maybe they're not so much quirks as rather addictions. But it's a spectrum, because again, this is a reading that isn't so specific. It's on a specific reading. So as we're going into physical characteristics, I'm seeing someone who is broader, male, female person who's neither, that kind of energy. I'm going to say medium height. So to me, that means if they're a guy, like 5'9" to 5'8". Oh wow, that's like an inch. 5'9" to 5'7", I think is medium height for men, and like 5'10" up is tall. I could get hate for that in the comments. But they're definitely someone who's probably in a more medium height. As it pertains to skin tone, I'm honestly unsure. They could be someone who's quite fair to someone who's quite a bit darker for your region. Hair I'm seeing to be shorter. A few of you may have like longer haired people. But definitely I feel shorter hair is going to be the more, I guess, baseline of them. They come off very contemplative when you meet them, and then behind closed doors, once you get to meet them, they'll be kind of spazzy. I think their energy all over the place. Once they get used to you, it's going to be startling sort of situation. They definitely do not come off that way at work. They're very reserved when they're around people that they're not so trusting of, I would say. But yeah, this person is loaded or will be loaded. They know how to do money. They know how to do power. They know how to do people. It's just doing themselves, I think, is problematic for them. They're definitely someone who's willing to go to bat for you, though. So once you're in sort of scenario. So this is a soulmate for pile number 2. Hello, pile number 3. So this is going to be a reading about your soulmate. I definitely think it's an interesting one. So your soulmate had a lot of cards come up that talk about their ability to be intelligent, adaptability. So it's the Moon and Gemini energy. Even the Queen of Birds talks about an ability to be intelligent. But this fierce intelligence, I guess I should start with the more positive. This fierce intelligence was a way for them to get out of some sort of social discrimination. That could be a lot of different things, to be honest. It ranges from like slut shaming to, I guess because it doesn't happen on here, racism, but I don't know if I'd really put that in there. But either way, they were able to get over a lot of social discrimination, or oppression, I should say, based on the fact that they were intelligent and smart. And because of that, they've kind of gone into this become your oppressor sort of situation. The Four of Pentacles talks about not being able to give away wealth. And then we have this rescuer in reverse, assumes that the rescued will reciprocate, keeps the needed one needy. So it's this idea that other people can rescue themselves. I was able to do it. I was able to become a doctor or someone who's prominent in the medical field. Why can't these other people do that? So they're also prone to social discrimination. It could even be just from being poor. That's definitely a thing. Unfortunately, classism, I think, is the word for it. So that was definitely a thing that's happened to them. It's kind of warped them a bit mentally. So they're very, 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 very cautious, and they're very interested in what the people around them have to say. And for at least for a while, that's been how they've been running their life. And I think that's still kind of what they're into. They're still very interested in having other people like them. They want to be liked. They have this need to be liked. Perhaps being liked when they were being oppressed socially was a mechanism of defense. You know, the more people around you, the safer you are. So it's kind of a coping mechanism that they've brought with them into adulthood. Either way, this person is going to want to have a very stereotypical relationship with you. Interestingly enough, I am getting that it could be interracial, which, you know, breaks the mold. But either way, they're definitely someone who wants to have this intergenerational wealth that they see so many other people have, that they feel that their family is entitled to, that they've worked for, and they likely will with this, um, reach that pinnacle that they're hoping for because they're able to do the work. But we have this Ace of Vessels, they're very emotionally stunted. So this soulmate, if you're willing to work with them, you're going to have to get them to open up and be more accepting of other people, unless that's not what you're into. And if you're into the vibe that they're giving off right now, then that's completely your gig. But I definitely think they're going to be emotionally stunted. So that's just something you're going to have to either accept, love, or work with them to change. I think is the only thing that we can get to. I'm definitely getting someone who's taller. So guy would be like 5'10" to 6'8" to above, it could be extremely tall. I don't want to ever count out super tall people. If they're a girl, I'm definitely seeing 5'8" to 5'9". I don't know what that's my go-to, 5'8" to 5'11", sorry. And I'm definitely getting cropped, like very stereotypical hair for like the person that they're trying to make themselves seem like they are and always were. They're definitely going to go with the hair that like is the most is able to conform the best to where they are and the social status that they're meaning to achieve, which is the best one. And I mean, this person is smart, and I feel as long as you fit, they'll always be down unless you're able to get them to get this more able to heal some damage if that's something you want to do. But really, they are a bit neurotic. They're very interested in appearances. They're very invested in this nouveau rich philosophy that has gotten them where they are. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Hi, pile number 4. I think something that's interesting that I kind of want to bring up is a lot of people's soulmates are people who are aiming for powerful positions, which I think is really interesting. I pull these really randomly, so I'm not entirely sure why that's a thing. I don't know if that's just like the market that I guess I go for, but that's definitely what we're getting in this one too. And they all go about it in very different ways. So we have Angel in reverse, acting innocent or angelic to mislead others, falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance. And we have Midas, entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn anything to gold, delight in sharing life's riches. And then again, we have this deception card. So it came out twice. And I think that's kind of interesting because we have this escaped and we have the saboteur energy. So to me, this person is someone who's very empathic. And I think when a lot of people hear the word empathic or empathy, they definitely kind of equate it to sympathy, like the ability to feel bad for someone to be sympathetic. But empathetic just means that you're understanding, I guess, what they're feeling. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're internalizing it and feeling bad or sympathizing for it. And I think that's kind of where this person is. They've realized that they have a gift for gab, or that they're very charismatic, that they're able to understand what other people are feeling. And they've used that as a way to kind of create a world around them, one that's made of cards, because again, we have this holding the shit thing. So it's like, they're waiting for the card to drop and then they have to move on and escape again. This interesting thing here is that we have this moon in Scorpio, and that talks about someone who's definitely emotionally charged. There's someone who feels strongly, holds grudges for a long time, but will not leave someone when they feel like very ride or die, like they're loyal to the end sort of situation. So I don't know if meeting you is going to help them get into, a page of pentacles, doing legitimate stuff, because this doesn't, to me, this feels like they've been so interested in power that they haven't so much taken into account how it affects other aspects of their life. They just want to feel like they're in control. And it's really blocking off a lot of avenues for them, or it's going to be blocking off avenues. And again, I want to stress that this is only one soulmate that you are capable of interacting with. And hopefully, if this is the case, then that you're supposed to help, or that you could help, because I don't think you should help anyone. If it's definitely not going to be good for you, then you shouldn't do it. Either way, this person, when you first meet them and when you're getting to know them, are going to come off as this very sweet, kind person. No one would ever think, you know, that they're who they are internally. And they're quite capable of making money. They're quite intelligent. It's just they found that one of their gifts are manipulating people, I guess. And they found that it's easier, at least in the short term, to make money the way they are, to like control the lives the way they are. But it's really just cutting off opportunities, and eventually there's not going to be much left. So hopefully by the time you meet this person, they'll be in a better state. I'm definitely getting someone who, for physical appearance, someone who may wear braids or have hair that's not Eurocentric. I'm definitely getting someone who could be, I guess, shorter to medium height, maybe a few tall, but I'm definitely getting shorter to medium height. Maybe this is like a Napoleon complex. They might wear glasses too, which could add to their like, you know, angelic persona. And they're definitely always wearing very nice clothes. They want people to notice them. They want people to think, oh, wow, look at that person. They're doing really well for themselves. They aren't going to be so overstated in that they need the attention, but they definitely are not going to hide the fact that they are doing what they're doing. It's all to curate this person that they want the world to see them as. What else physically? I guess I'm getting blue as a, like, denim being a thing. I don't know why denim would be a thing, but that's definitely something. Denim and grass. That's the weirdest combination. But yeah, fun. So I guess just be wary, or like not wary. You shouldn't be wary of a soulmate, but just be aware of those combinations somehow. Oh, I guess it'd be like grass burn. I don't know if that's what it's called, but it's when the chlorophyll from the grass gets on your denim and it leaves like streak marks. I guess kind of the energy, the vibe I'm getting. Oh, I guess something else I forgot to mention. This person is also very assertive. So like they're a very commanding personality, which I think works well in their like, you know, saboteur, deceptive ways. And I think it's up to you how you want to interact with an energy like this. If it's good for you, it's good for you. But this is definitely the vibe I'm getting. Yeah, definitely not in a Eurocentric hairstyle. Probably darker skinned. But yeah, I'm hopeful that your guys' meeting will, you know, have you do things, because they're so smart, they're so talented, they have these abilities to make money in legitimate ways. They've just found easier, or perhaps been taught easier methods that are not as good for, you know, people around them. So I hope this was an informational reading for you. Pile 4. Hello, pile number 6. I just realized in the last pile I did it wrong. I did the wrong number. I said pile number 4 when it was pile number 5, which is great. But moving on to yours. We have the beggar in reverse. Dependence on others to exclusion of effort. Prince in reverse. Using power for self-aggrandizement. Sin of pride in reverse. King of swords upright. The sun in reverse. Strength upright. And then other assorted cards that we will get into. So this is definitely reading to me as someone who's very into the natural world, where we have Judaism. This is definitely someone who is aware, I guess, of their natural flora or fauna. They're also someone who has some distinct personality traits, perhaps issues with anger when they don't get what they want. They could be quite controlling. The King of Swords represents someone who can be quite harsh. And then we have the Sin of Pride in reverse. So it's this idea of someone who wants everything, but they're not prideful enough or have enough self-worth to be able to go out and do it. So they get angry at the world and everyone else around them for, you know, not being able to do it. We have the Sun in reverse, which kind of goes along with that. When you guys meet, he could, or she could be someone who is in domestic services. They could be a maintenance worker, perhaps, something like that. But their goal is to be in a position of authority. They don't want to be in that position. It's just kind of where life has them right now, and they don't have the inner, I guess, defiance or the inner fortitude to be able to rise much higher than the position, at least as of right now. And again, this is only one soulmate. There are multiple different soulmate possibilities. Very weirdly, this entire like video has just been of people who are in situations with people who are either powerful, going to be powerful, want to be powerful, or I guess lots of people like being an authoritative person. So maybe that's why we have that down here. I feel like this person could also feel that they have, I guess, stuff to live up to, like some sort of high expectations. They feel like there's like some odd expectation with this practicality, this moon in Capricorn. These people do not like not having work, especially work that's considered favorable, you know, in the world. So they are not going to be in a happy sort of state if you meet them in this sort of energy. And it, again, I don't think it's that they haven't or don't want to try. I think it's just they really don't have the inner fortitude right now for whatever reason, because of who they were hurt by or how they were hurt. They just aren't in a space right now where they feel able, I guess, to do this. But they're so good at cooking, and I guess dealing with people. They're a very kind person. It's not that they're not kind, it's just that they're dependent. You know, they think the world owes them something, and they feel badly if they don't receive what they think they're owed. And ironically, they probably don't think they're owed a lot, with this sin of pride in reverse sort of situation. They need to feel better about themselves, and once they feel better about themselves, they'll be able to achieve something. I don't think it's ever going to be like the super high position of power sort of situation, but I'm sure they're going to be able to reach where they want to reach, or, you know, are going to be able to pull themselves out of this situation where they feel like they are never going to amount to anything, because I'm sure that's not true. They just need to be motivated, I guess. This person is probably taller, much taller actually. They might even have a kid or have lost a kid, and that could be what like punched them out sort of situation. They're definitely going to have curly hair. Could be long, could be short. And they're going to be tan to darker skinned, I would say. Tan to darker skinned. And I think when you meet them, you're kind of going to be able to tell that something has happened to them. They've been put through the ringer. Just don't give them too much, I guess, emotional investment too quickly. I think they could take advantage of that. And I'm not saying, again, this is a soulmate, you know, but soulmates aren't perfect. Soulmates can become karmic, depending on the situation, I think, in my opinion. So I would just take it slowly with this person, but maybe don't count them out either. Just be aware that they could have issues with anger and issues with wanting to amount to something and feeling like they are impotent at the moment, whatever gender they are. So yeah, pile number 6, this was your reading. Hopefully your soulmate will be in a better spot by the time that you meet them.